Today, we're diving into a timeless fable that asks a really deep question. What happens when a huge blessing is actually a huge test? It's a story all about wealth, greed, and the surprising power of being generous. So let's get right into it. So, at the very heart of our story is this beautiful, lush, fruitful garden. But as you're about to see, it is so much more than just a piece of land. For the three brothers who are about to inherit it, this garden will become the ultimate test of their character. Now, to really understand this test, we have to start with the man who planted the seeds, so to speak, their father. His legacy is the foundation for everything that's about to happen. Okay, so the father, he was known for being this really righteous and kind-hearted guy. He didn't just see the garden as a way to make money for himself. Nope. For him, it was a blessing that needed to be shared. He was absolutely convinced that the garden's success was tied directly to his own generosity. It seemed like the more he gave away, the more the garden flourished. And these weren't just some parting words to his sons. This was his will. This was the moral compass he was trying to pass down to them, a simple but really profound set of instructions on how to handle the incredible wealth they were about to get. So, after the father passes away, the garden is left to his sons. And it's right here, at this moment, with this amazing inheritance in their hands, that the real conflict begins. The inheritance almost immediately becomes a major point of conflict. I mean, the father's will was crystal clear, but his sons had totally different ideas about what to do with their new wealth. And it just exposed this massive divide in what they believed. And here you see the two opposing sides, clear as day. Two of the brothers thought their father's charity was just, well, foolish. Their plan? Hoard every last thing and get rich. But the middle brother, he understood the deeper truth at play, that their prosperity was a blessing, a direct result of their father's goodness, and he tried to warn them not to forget that. But did they listen to their brother? Nope, not one bit. Instead, the two greedy brothers cook up this secret plan. And the entire plan is just built on pure selfishness. They're gonna sneak into their own garden before dawn, strip every single piece of fruit from the trees, and make absolutely sure that not a single needy person could even ask for a share. So, with their minds made up, the brothers head out before sunrise, whispering to each other about all the riches they're about to have. They were so confident in their plan, but what they were about to face, they never, ever could have imagined it. Just think about it for a second. They're expecting to see trees just heavy with fruit, right? A symbol of the wealth they're about to claim. They are ready to execute their greedy little plan. But what's waiting for them when they get there? Just complete and utter devastation. The lush, vibrant garden they had inherited was gone. In its place, nothing but black, smoldering ruin. The source of their planned fortune, their father's legacy, had been completely wiped out overnight. Their first reaction is just total disbelief. I mean, the scene was so catastrophic, they couldn't even recognize their own property. They actually thought they must have taken a wrong turn. The reality of it was just too shocking for them to process right away. But as the sun came up, that harsh reality started to sink in. This was their garden. And that horrifying realization, well, that was the turning point. It moved them from shock straight into a really painful moment of truth. Standing there among the ashes, the weight of what they had planned to do just comes crashing down on them. All that arrogance and excitement they felt just moments before, it just evaporated, and it was replaced by this deep, profound shame. They knew in that instant this was no accident. And finally, they connect the dots. In that moment, they say out loud the very lesson their good brother had tried to teach them. In their plan to deprive others, they themselves had been deprived of everything. Their sin was now perfectly, painfully clear. And look, this wasn't just a fleeting moment of regret, like an oops, my bad kind of thing. This was a deep, sincere repentance. They made a solemn vow right then and there to completely change their ways, to abandon their greed, and to embrace the very principle of charity that their father had lived by. So what happens after a fall that dramatic and a sincere change of heart? Well, the story doesn't end in ruin. It actually concludes with a powerful lesson about forgiveness, redemption, and what blessings are really all about. Because their repentance was genuine, it was accepted. And in place of the garden they lost, they were given another one, a garden that was even more lush and more fruitful than the first. Their greatest loss became the very thing that led to their greatest blessing, but only after they learned their lesson. So what are the big takeaways here? The story gives us some incredibly clear lessons. It shows that greed, ultimately, is a self-destructive path. It teaches us that real abundance isn't found in hoarding, but in giving. It reminds us that being truly sorry can open the door to forgiveness. And maybe the biggest one of all, it teaches us that the good things we have in life aren't just rewards. They are profound tests of our character. And that leaves us with a final question to think about. This whole story suggests there's a powerful link between what we receive and what we're willing to share. It really forces us to ask ourselves where the real value in life is. Is it in the act of accumulating more stuff, or is it in the act of contributing to others? Definitely something worth thinking about.